I finally got to interview Eckhart Tolle, and what a fascinating conversation it was. And I use the word conversation conditionally, because what happened was I asked like one question to Eckhart Tolle: what is going on? And, and the answer was for that question was 45 minutes long. It's a 2-hour podcast. It's a behemoth. But what's beautiful about it is, like, you may be familiar with Eric Fromm's maxim on the difference between prophets and priests. So the priest preaches the word, the prophet is the word embodied. Or as Christians say of Christ, or Christian theology at least says of Christ, he is the word made flesh, the original vibration, the original frequency of God realized in living matter. And Eckhart Tolle, when he's broadcasting, when he's talking, when he goes on transmit, you best get yourself on receive, because you're receiving direct data. I felt myself, like, just by listening in the moment to what he was saying, I felt myself, I experienced what he's talking about, which is essentially, whoever you are not your thought patterns, for good or for bad. Whether your thoughts are rewarding you, I'm terrific, I'm fantastic, look at my kimono, look at my fantastic crystal triangle here. Or, I don't like my body, I'm overweight, I'm not good enough, I'm not the right type of man, I'm getting older. Or whatever it is your thoughts are doing, that's not who you are. You are the awareness, the present awareness. You are not your past, you are not your projections into the future. You are this moment of intersection, this awareness that has deep intelligence and access to a deeper intelligence still, if you are willing to remain in touch with the present. He talked about the sort of political connotations of awareness. We discussed the necessity for individual awakening if social change is to be achieved, particularly in a moment like this, which seems so febrile, alive, so full of potential. God willing, it will lead to positive outcomes for all the world's people, particularly those that have known such historic and contemporary suffering. Talking to Eckhart Tolle is, I understand the guru tradition, the idea that the guru is not about the personality of the guru, but that they are a conduit of a deep truth that's trying to travel through all of us. As Eckhart Tolle himself says, that the universe is conscious awareness realizing itself through form. When I say we, I'm speaking on behalf of the scientific community there. We, scientists like me, we can't determine where consciousness comes from. Recent mathematical models try to suggest, or do suggest, that the transmission of information between different neurological networks may in itself create consciousness, but there's insufficient evidence for that. Panpsychism is gaining momentum. The idea that consciousness is inherent within the universe, that consciousness is a component of all matter and non-matter. Remember, of course, that 98% of the universe is shit we can't even see or begin to understand. Dark matter, dark energy, things that don't operate within our sensory realm. And that's even with the dimensions that we can apprehend. The most stuff is unknown. The only things that I believe should be prioritized when it comes to the organization and formation of systems is love, kindness, compassion. What do love, kindness, and compassion suggest? Love, I feel such a strong, positive, benevolent, kind energy towards something else. It's like I am it. Compassion, I want to understand how this feels, I want to help it. Empathy, kindness, I want to benefit. All of these ideas, all of these principles, if you ask me, are in essence an understanding and intuition of our oneness. When Eckhart Tolle talks of God, and I don't think he explicitly used the word God much, he is talking about oneness, non-separation. If we, as a priority when organizing our lives, organizing our communities, organizing our systems, recognize that we are all one, that however we identify and however we appear, we have equal rights to a existence of not about comfort, but freedom, I suppose. Freedom. I suppose what I got from it is that we have evolved there's like a kink in our evolution that has led to egotism. egotism, that thing where we've got an ego. That's how it's pronounced, isn't it? So yeah, man, it's pretty amazing to talk to him. I would recommend that you listen to this podcast. It's on YouTube for free in a week. It's on Luminary right now. You can get a subscription to Luminary. All of the information is here. But what I learned from it is now more than ever, in this time of global protests and global pandemics, that individual awakening is required for lasting, meaningful, significant change. And I believe that that is happening, as does Eckhart Tolle, perhaps more importantly.